All right, parents. I know it's a little bit early, just a couple minutes, but I feel like several of you, have been waiting, and I was actually waiting for our recording to start, so I'm hoping that it's working, so those who are absent will be listening to my voice but staring at the slides. So welcome tonight. It's so great to see everybody in person. It's been a couple years since we've actually had the parent information meeting in person, so we felt like it was a good time to kind of go over some things. There are just one or two big changes this coming year, and so we wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. Those of you who have been at Grapevine Christian for a while probably noticed some huge changes as you walked into the building and looked to the right. The animal mural is gone, so we've been doing some big projects. One thing that we're really excited about, if you'll notice, the bathrooms do say under construction right now. The partitions are supposed to be put up tomorrow, and it finished out on Saturday. So, talk about down to the wire. We weren't sure that was going to get done, but I would appreciate all the positive thoughts and making sure that gets done by then. Also, just so you guys know, too, we do have some playground updates coming. We ordered them in May. It's always fun with the kids in here. Doesn't faze me, so. The playground, they were supposed to take 30 weeks, but we got notice that I ordered them April, May. We're supposed to get the second week in September. So you'll start to see some new play equipment come up and some newer things. So those are some exciting things coming our way for our kiddos to enjoy. So I'm going to jump in and get started. For those of you who are new, I'm going to try and go through this kind of quickly. No one likes to sit here for very long, but just want to make sure we all have the basic information. Please keep in mind our parent handbook is available on our website, so a lot of this information is in there. I just want to highlight. So arrival and dismissal, remember in the morning, our doors open at 8:50 and we'll stay open until 9:10. At 9:10, our kids actually start transitioning into the big room for circle time. So after that time, staff will greet you at the door. This is going in and out now. We'll greet you at the door to escort your child to class, but between 8:50 and 9:10, we invite you to come in to drop them off. And the same thing for dismissal. The doors will open at 1:50, and we ask that all students be picked up by 2:05 p.m. Since we are not in the COVID world anymore, we've kind of scaled that back a little bit since our car lines don't have to be used exclusively. If you would like to use car line, though, take advantage of that. We are going back to the single car line. So those of you who have only been with us the past couple years and we've always done the double, or you only know us to do the double, it will be just single car line. I don't know what's happening with my mic. You got car line or car rider signs from your teacher. If you went already, if you're going to your teacher in just a few minutes, you'll get those. They're either pink for our younger classes, green for our 3s, and orange for our pre-K classes. You'll just put that in your windshield as you're pulling through in the afternoon, and teachers will bring your child out to the car. You will have to buckle them in. We cannot be responsible for buckling students into the car. We do ask, and this kind of got to be a problem towards the end of last year, we do ask that you stay off your cell phone while you're in the car line, especially because we're going to have more people coming into the building, and we just want to make sure that we can keep everybody safe. But there's a map up there so you can kind of see. You're free to park in the parking lots that are right there, but we do ask that all traffic come on McPherson. Moving along, releasing children. We will only release children to those listed on your registration form. So please make sure you've designated those individuals. If there has to be a change and it's someone not listed on your registration form, please let us know in writing preferably so that we have that. And then if in a case of an emergency, you can always call me and we can make that adjustment. New people that I don't know or our staff does not recognize will be asked to show their driver's license. Those of you who have been here for a few years know it takes me about a week, but I usually pretty much start to recognize cars and who goes with who, so we can get through that pretty quickly. But we just want to make sure that everybody is safe. Moving right along here, our late pickups. If you know you're going to be late, you get stuck in traffic, we totally get it, things happen. If you'll just call the office or shoot the teacher a message on Brightwheel, that is especially helpful so we at least know what's going on. Remember, we do give 2 grace periods, and then after that we do charge for the late for those late fees. We are planning on offering after school this year. It is from 2 p.m. to 3:30 each day. It's $12 per day, and the spots are limited. Again, folders that you're getting from your You should have a September calendar, and at the top you can sign up for your child to stay every day, or you can sign up for just days in September. That's fine, but we are planning to start that on Thursday, September 8th. So if you'll turn those after school sheets in the first week of school, that would be great, so we can make sure we staff that appropriately. Tuition and billing, it's due the first of the month. Most of you probably already got first invoice through Brightwheel. It's due by the 5th of the month, and then it's late after that. You can pay online through Brightwheel. It does charge a credit card convenience charge, or it's free if you pay with your checking account. You can always send a check-in or cash. That's totally fine because we can log an offline payment. After school is billed weekly, and then it's due on the first of the next month. And several parents didn't realize until towards the end of last year, you can actually get tax documents through Brightwheel. You just have to use the log on with your computer. And September tuition, I've got notes here. I'm trying to fly through this. September tuition isn't due by the 5th. It's just due sometime next week during the first week of school. And there won't be any late fees for that. As far as what to bring to school, please make sure you bring a bag large enough to fit the folder that will come to and from school, the lunch box, a change of clothes, which is really important, and a refillable water bottle because our kids have access to water at all times. Our younger classes, we do ask that you send a nap mat or blanket. You got my email this summer. I did mention it's something that, especially in a 3-year-old class, we want them to be able to roll up, and you don't want it too big or too oversized. Like, this is a perfect size nap mat or nap roll. They can also bring a small blanket and a small pillow, but something that's not huge and that the kids can kind of manage by themselves. It can be trained to manage by themselves. We're all about teaching that independence. Please leave toys at home. I know sometimes that can be a battle, but we start our day pretty quickly, and it's so helpful not to be, to come into school and then have to yank a toy out of somebody's hand. So please keep toys at home unless it's a special day. And diapers and pull-ups, make sure you always have a change or extras in your backpack for those. And if your child's wearing pull-ups, we do ask that you use these Easy Tab ones. It makes changing so much faster for our bigger kids. And then moving right along. Snacks and lunch, we do provide a mid-morning snack. The snack calendar is posted online. It will come home with you, or come home at the beginning of each month on the back of the school newsletter. It's also posted outside my office, so when you walk in, you can see that. If there's ever an issue, send the teacher a message, and we always have Cheerios and some basic things like that we can serve as well. The children will have access to water throughout the day. We do ask that lunches that parents provide are nutritious and age appropriate, that's easily opened. This is a big one. We've found more and more. I know I'm guilty of it as a parent. You throw the easy things when you're running late and stuff, and that can be frustrating. If you're 2 years old and you're waiting for your teacher to go through and open everybody's lunches and you're sitting there, that's really frustrating. So I recommend those Bent-Go type boxes, and the kids get really great at opening those by themselves, and that way they're not sitting and waiting. Please include all the utensils that they might need for those lunches as well. Questions about, reach out to the teacher. Great suggestions too. So what to wear, please make sure they're wearing comfortable play clothes. We do a lot of painting and crafts and things, and so nice clothes, we don't want to get them ruined. Always send extra clothes, including shoes. Even for our friends that are potty trained, sometimes they get really excited and busy, especially at recess or other things, and don't always realize that they need to go quite as bad. So sometimes shoes do get wet as well, especially at the beginning of the year as we're making all those adjustments or as we're first potty training. So please make sure there's always extra clothes, and label everything so we can make sure everything goes home with everybody. Closed-toed shoes are best. Our playground has mulch on it, and kids get so frustrated when the mulch and the wood chips and stuff get stuck in their sandals. So we really recommend those closed-toed shoes. And then, of course, we will go outside on the playground as long as the wheel is above 30 degrees. And so please, as it starts to get cooler, coats, jackets, gloves, hats are great to have. If GCS is to close, we follow GCISD. So if they delay school because of bad weather or something like that, we will delay school. Notice we will start at 10:30 if there's ever a delay. And of course, if they close because of bad weather, which seems to have happened the last couple of years, we will also close. You can always look at our Facebook page. We try to update that as early as possible in the morning. My husband is actually a Grapevine High School teacher, so we get the notifications really early for them, and I try to pass that along as soon as I know. But always check Bright Wheel, Facebook. We try to get that information out because that's important to parents. Okay, illnesses. These are pretty basic, but guys, if your child is sick, please keep them at home. We are so thankful to be through what we hope is the worst of the COVID situation that we dealt with the last 2 years, and life is somewhat going back to normal. I think I did check with Tarrant County. The great news is we don't have to do all the quarantining, all the other stuff that has been going on, but it's being treated more like flu. I will have to let you guys know it's considered communicable, so we will have to send notices, but if you're, exposed or around somebody, it doesn't, until you show symptoms, you don't have to stay away. But we do ask that children who have fever, chills, any of those listed, I don't want to read them out, but they've got to be symptom-free for at least 24 hours before returning to school. So if because we're running fever, sorry, but we don't, maybe the next day, okay? So keep them at home for at least 24 hours, and we'll make sure that everybody's good. At school, if your child has a minor injury, we will post it on Brightwheel. You'll get a message from the teacher. If it's something that would require medical attention, because we're licensed by the state of Texas, we do have paperwork that we have to fill out, so you'll be asked to sign that. If your child becomes ill at school, I will give you a call, and we do ask that you pick up your child immediately. And that means within 20 to 30 minutes. If there's a problem getting here that quickly, we can, contact your emergency contact. But there's nothing worse than having a child throwing up in the office and just miserable, waiting on mom and dad to get there. So I'm trying to, if there's anything else, I think we're good on that. Absences, if your child is going to be absent, if you're taking a trip, if they're sick, if you would, please email the teacher, send a message through Brightwheel. You can email me. You can call the office. Just get that information to us. We miss the kids when they're gone and always are a little bit worried. So please, it's great just that communication if we can. As far as communication this year, we will be using the Brightwheel app. That's a great source of information to keep in contact with your teacher. Email, all of the teachers probably giving you their email address. It's the teacher's first name at grapevinechristianschool.com, or you can contact me. We have our Facebook page. Be sure to follow us on Facebook because we do post pictures periodically of things that we're doing, and you can kind of see the rest as well. That you are checking your student folder pretty regularly. Some of those get jam-packed with papers, and sometimes there's important information that does come home that way. So just lots of different ways to communicate, just kind of being aware. Okay, we are planning on doing parent conferences this year. Pre-K will be late November, early December, and the rest of our classes will be late before we start registration. So teachers will be able to kind of the learning that's going on in class, evaluations that we do at the beginning of the year, and all sorts of stuff. Of course, you can request how are you? Of course, you can request a conference at any time by calling the office, or you can email the teacher and get that information. We're almost done, I promise. Special days and birthdays, we do love to celebrate birthdays. So you can send store-bought treats on your child's birthday. If they have a summer birthday, the teachers usually work with you to find a time to celebrate, whether that's half birthdays or closer towards the end of the year. If you're like me, I always tell the teachers I don't celebrate birthdays because I was June 30th, and in school I couldn't even celebrate my half birthday because it was December 30th. So I was robbed in all sorts of ways. So we find ways to celebrate your kiddos. So that is absolutely okay. These are some of the things that we're going to be doing this year with our kids. So we do invite you to a lot of these events. I'll be getting out a calendar hopefully before too long so you can put some dates in your calendars, knowing like the Thanksgiving feast is something we love for families to be part of. Our Christmas parties, our Easter egg hunt this year, we want our families to be part of. So we hope to see a lot of you this year. All right, moving right along. Most of you know we are licensed by the Child Care Licensing by the state of Texas. This is their contact information. You can look it up on the website. If there's anything, you can call them directly about us. We are also, again, the cell phone free pickup zone. We just ask that you're hands free, especially with so many kids running around. We try to do a great job monitoring the door, but every once in a while someone might dart across that parking lot. We want to keep all our. This is because we are considered a drug-free and gang-free zone. There are penalties if anyone's convicted of that. And then by state law, all of our teachers, we have annual. We are required to report any suspected abuse to CPS. So that's something that we have to legally let you guys know. And lastly, just so you guys know, we have been around since 1981. We are a ministry of Grapevine Church of Christ. You guys to come and participate in our, in our worship services, in our Bible classes. Times are listed up there. We also will be doing periodic events. Those of you who were here last year, we did a brunch with Santa Claus, and we had pancakes. It was a great time. So there will be some other events like that. Miss Nan, is she in here? I thought she was going to come in here. I don't see her. Miss Nan is the children's ministry director. A lot of you have already met her and seen her, but she helps us out with chapel time. She's around during Thanksgiving feast, but she's a face, and a lot of the sweet kids know her, especially from VBS and things. So you'll see her. If you haven't met her, you'll definitely get. But that's all I have for tonight. I know that was a fly through, especially with kiddos running around. But the biggest changes, those of you who've been with us, we're going, like I said, going back to that single car line for drop off and pick up. And all of the updates that we've done to the building. So I'll be down here for a few more minutes, but otherwise we're going to wrap it up. So that was like 15 minutes? That's not bad at all. So thank you guys so much for coming. It's good to see everybody, and we can't wait till next week.